My bad. Had to get in spirit real quick. What are you doing? What? What are you doing? Recording a video? What's that? It's a microphone? Not that dumbass on your head. It's it's a hat. Take it off. Why? Take it off. It's just a hat. It's not even a real hat. Okay, damn. I couldn't find one at the store. Take them dumbass shades off while you're at it. How did you even get in my house? Ho 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 and a happy Thanksgiving to all. Thanksgiving is pretty underrated. Like no one really talks about it except on that specific day. Like once Halloween ends, all of a sudden folks got Christmas lights up. This mall by my house already has a big ass 50-foot tall Christmas tree with lights and ornaments put up in the front of it. And I just walk by and I'm like, we've still got a month left. It seems like everyone just ignores Thanksgiving, even though it's arguably one of the best days of the year. There's always NFL classics. There's always two uncles that are arguing over a game of Uno. And once it gets dark, half of the adults disappear and you realize they're out back smoking. Fun times. But really, Thanksgiving needs a lot more love. So to celebrate it, I'm going to make a case for some superheroes I think everyone would love to have at their dinner. But before that, hi everyone. I know it's been a month. One thing that I want to stress before we move on is that you need to make sure that you're always conscious about your mental health, even the really small things, because even those can grow over time into something big. And then one day you'll just pop. Like Thunderbolts literally tried to teach us this lesson, and I ignored it. Probably because I was too busy being distracted by the sheer existence of Florence Pugh. We've all been there. But after a few rough weeks and some free therapy sessions from one of my friends, I'm back. I'm better, at least a little bit. So let's get rolling. This one's easy, so I want to get it out the way early. Literally any speedster would be great at Thanksgiving. Barry Allen, Wally West, Quicksilver, Dash, A Train. Maybe not that last one. There's two things in particular that I think they would be great at: letting people know that the food is ready and setting up the table. In relation to the first one, it's a tradition for my family, and I'm sure for most families, to gather before eating. We pray, we talk about what we're thankful for, but gathering is always the hardest part because finding family members, even in a very small house, is one of the most difficult things you could do. You'll be told that your auntie's in the living room. So you walk over there, then the folks in the living room say, "Oh yeah, she's in the kitchen." And you're like, "I just walked by there." And next thing you know, you're looking out the window and you see her pulling out of the driveway, about to take a trip to Narnia. So it's very difficult to get a hold of people for these gatherings most of the time. Speedsters would help catch these people before they go on to their own little side quests. In relation to setting up the table, there's been multiple times where the food is hot and steaming, but the table isn't set. So my hungry ass is trying my hardest not to lose my shit for the next 5 minutes while I set up the table, while a speedster could just set it up like that. Plus, every minute wasted setting up the table would mean a higher chance that a family member ends up disappearing, and we have to go on the hunt for them for the next 30 minutes, which means 30 more minutes of not eating food. So, no one's Thanksgiving is perfect. There's always at least one ingredient that you forgot at the store. So then you go to the store, get that ingredient, and come back just to find out that you forgot another ingredient. And this cycle continues at least 3 more times. Like my grandpa makes at least 4 trips to the store on Thanksgiving Day before he can actually say that the food is done. Or let me correct that. He goes out the first time, and then the next 3 times he sends someone else out to go get the stuff for him. But all those trips are wasted time. And as they say, time is money. So if you invite Cloak to Thanksgiving, he could literally teleport you to the store and back with ease. He'll probably be annoyed by the end of it, but you'll have your ingredients and you won't be the one holding up the dinner. Plus, if there's some relative that wants to interrogate you on your life, figure out who you're dating, figure out what job you've got now, when you're gonna visit them, you could literally just hide in Cloak's cloak. Easy. Thanksgiving is also one of those times where your older relatives like to act like they can still run like prime Randy Moss because we have the Turkey Bowl. If you're not aware, the Turkey Bowl is basically just it's usually two-hand touch or flag football game between family and friends. I've actually only been in one before, but it's usually a tradition for certain families. And to be real, to see some of your family members run around and act like, they're just these super agile people that know how to juke anyone out, it's funny as shit, as long as you're not playing. But if you are playing, you'd want Spider-Man on your team. Spider-Man is basically perfect for any task, but I really wanted to be specific. I think Spider-Man's spider senses and his overall athleticism would just kill during a Turkey Bowl. I don't even think it's an argument, honestly. He'd kill in the regular Super Bowl, honestly. Just anything to do with professional sports or sports of any kind, I think Spider-Man would just work everyone in. There's nothing he wouldn't be able to do. So yeah, invite him to Thanksgiving, recruit him to your Turkey Bowl team, and watch him carry you to victory at the expense of your relatives' ankles, of course. As you may be able to tell, I'm a big dude and I like to eat. Yeah, we know. Yo, get out of my house. The food is always one of the biggest parts of Thanksgiving. I always dread hearing the words, "we're out of sweet potato pie," or really any food, because we always have some really good ass food. But what if someone there could just replenish anything that we ate? I know it's a random scene, but I always thought it was super overpowered how Doctor Strange could just reverse the effects of a bite out of an apple. He literally had an infinite food glitch hanging around his neck. And yet him and Wong were discussing how they were going to afford a tuna melt. The process is simple. Before the last bit of food gets eaten from the tray, just go get Stephen Strange, be like, "Yo, bro, we're out of mac and cheese." He'd be like, "All right, say no more." Then he get his little spinning on. No, that's the all right. That's how he does his. That's how he uses the sling. I don't remember how exactly he does it. It's like he does the turn. I think he does like a turning motion when he reverses the apple. So he does his little turn, and then boom, we got a full tray of mac and cheese. Do I really have to explain more? So I could go with the obvious things about Kryptonians, like their super strength, their super speed, flight, their laser vision. But those things are boring and they're a bit of an easy cop out. I was thinking about this the other day, but Kryptonians would be insane at card games because they have X-ray vision. So they would be able to see any card at any moment. They'd be kings at poker, at Uno, at blackjack. I don't know who plays blackjack at Thanksgiving, but if you do, they'd be great at it. Most importantly, they have to be your partner in spades because they'll know exactly what cards are in each player's hand. So let's say that you predict that you'll win 2 sets, but Superman knows that you guys could win 8 sets minimum. So he's gonna say that he thinks he'll win 6 sets to make it 8 sets total for you guys. Like he could say that with 100% confidence because he knows what cards each player has. It's too good. You'll never lose. But then as you guys continuously win perfect games in spades and your relatives get mad, they start confronting you guys, you're going to need someone to calm them down. That's why you invite for all the fights over Uno, for all the arguments over lost bets, and when it's time for the baby to take a nap, Mantis is there to calm everyone down. So that's all I've got today. If you ever figure out how to travel to different universes and you get to bring a superhero back and it's Thanksgiving time, come back to this video, please. I need the watch hours. But yeah, stick around if you enjoy what you see. Later this week, I'm going to be dropping a video on the greatest comic book series of all time, Marvel. It's so good. It's got Jesus Christ, racism, African fertility gods, I'm not gonna explain that last one. You're just gonna have to sub and watch the video when I drop it. But yeah, that video was recorded a month ago, so it's kind of just been sitting around. But that comic book series was really fun to read for all the wrong reasons. And I actually plan on reading more weird comics like that. So if you know of any weird comics similar to Marvel or just downright terrible, send them my way. Let me know in the comments. But that's all I've got today. Make sure you like and sub to the channel. Have a great Thanksgiving. And as always, thanks for watching.